This is a video about sets and cardinal numbers. Cardinal numbers are all about how many elements are in different regions of the set. Symbol for cardinal numbers looks like the hashtag symbol. So I'm going to do an example with you, and it has 3 sets in it, universal A and B. Again, pause the video and draw this yourself. Then we'll answer the questions. Okay, here's my outline. These sets share A, and then what's outside of A union B? D is going to go on the outside. And now I'm going to answer the questions. So they want to know in question 2, well, what's the cardinal number of U? Well, so what I do for that is I look at my whole universal set, which is absolutely everything, and I count all the elements. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 elements for that one. And you'll notice for that, I could have also been able to tell that from looking at the written list form of the U set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, I want to find the cardinal number of A. Again, you can see it up here because you can count 1, 2, 3 elements. And if you look at the A set up here, there are 3 elements in it. So the answer there is just 3. Take a second there yourself to see, can you figure out what the cardinal number of B is? There's just 2 elements in B, isn't there? A and E. So 1, 2, and you can see it in the diagram as well, 1, 2. Now, diagram comes into its own for part 5 because we want to find the cardinal number of A union B, and that's easy to see from the diagram. Remember, A union B is all of A and B all together. So if you look at those 2 full sets, you can see that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 elements in there. Next, I want to find the cardinal number of A intersection B. What do you think this one is? Take a second to have a think about it. The intersection is where they overlap, isn't it? And it's just A in there. So we only have 1 element in there. That's the cardinal number of A intersection B. Now, a little bit of remembering stuff. What does this guy mean again, the little dash? That's A complement, isn't it? So what's outside of A? And I want to know how many things are outside of A. So I'm going to cover over the A set. And how many elements can I see? Well, it's just the D and the E, isn't it? So I've just got 2 elements out there. And take a second yourselves to see, can you figure out what the cardinal number of B complement is? Okay, so B complement, I want to cover over B. How many elements can I still see? I've got 3. It's interesting to note that with Venn diagrams, I've got 2 possibilities. I can draw Venn diagrams like this where I've got all the elements filled in, but I can also draw a different version of that Venn diagram that has less detail in that it doesn't tell you what all the elements are, but it does tell you how many things are in each part of the diagram. So I'm just going to draw this Venn diagram again, except this time I'm only going to use cardinal numbers. So the first version that I drew had all the elements in it. This time it's just cardinal numbers. I'm going to start from the inside out. There's 1 thing in the intersection, so I'll put 1 there. Notice now, by the way, I'm not putting a dot next to it because the number 1 isn't in the intersection, because like the number 1 isn't anywhere in this list. So it's not an element of these, it's just how many things are in there. So elements get a dot, cardinal numbers don't. Okay, I've got 2 things in this portion. So 2 in there. Oh, I should have written in my A and my B, shouldn't I? And I've got 1 thing in this portion, I'll put that in there, 1. And then I've also got 1 element on the outside, so I'll fill in that 1 as well. And you'll just notice that when you look at the diagram there, the numbers add up to give you the correct values for your U, A and B sets. So for example, we said that the cardinal number of U was 5. If you look at the full universal set, 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 adds up to make that total of 5. The cardinal number of A is 3. If I add up my 2 and my 1 inside in the A set, I get that total. The cardinal number of B is 2. If I add up the cardinal numbers inside in the B circle, I get that total of 2. And now finally, here's a question for you to do. You've got your 3 sets U, C and D. Draw a Venn using elements. Don't forget your dots. Draw a Venn using cardinal numbers and then answer the questions. Again, pause, do it and then play to see if you're right. Okay, so here come the Venn diagrams. Make sure you've got your own ones drawn now first before you look at mine. So we want to first of all draw the one that has the elements in it. So let's have a look. I have got my set U, the universal, my C and my D sets. Then V went in the middle, U in the rest of C, X in the rest of D, and then I had to get the W, X and Y on the outside of those 2 sets. And then looking at my cardinal numbers, well, I've got one thing in the intersection, in goes the one more element out here, one more element out here, and outside I've got 3 more elements. So I've got to write 3 there somewhere on the outside. Okay, doesn't matter where you put it as long as it's outside of all of C and D. Now I want to know my cardinal numbers. Okay, so U, so the cardinal number of U is when I add everything in my diagram up. 1 and 1 and 1 and 3 makes 6. Oh, I've spotted a mistake. Can you see it? And the reason I spotted my mistake is when I went back up to look at my U set here, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you spot my error in those first 2 diagrams? Probably go back and look at this sky to find it. I put the X in twice. I put it in here and then I put it in here as well, and I can't repeat myself in a set, so I have to get rid of him. Well, that means I only have 2 elements on the outside. So I'm going to change that to a 2. Right, try again. That just goes to show the importance of cross-checking things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aha, now I know that I'm definitely right. And now I've got the cardinal number of C. Well, there's 2 things. Let's double check. 1, 2. And the cardinal number of D. 1, 2. Oh yeah, that looks good. Then I want to get the cardinal number of C union D. So again, think now, what's C union D? That's all of C and D together, isn't it? So that's everything in here. So it's 1, 2, 3. So I got 3 for that guy. And then C intersection D. That's what they share in the middle, isn't it? That's the intersection. So that's 1. Now, okay, next I've got C intersection D complement. So remember, that means outside of the intersection. So I'm going to cover over the intersection. And what can I see that's left? I've got 2 and 1 and 1. That makes 4. And then finally, to finish it all off, I've got C union D complement. That means I want to cover over all of C union D. And what do I see that's left? Just a 2.